Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I am going to make a Halloween card. I'm crafting with the Pixi Dust Designs Frankie mug. This is a really adorable die set and it is a continuation of the really fun, very whimsical and really well designed set of different mugs that the Pixi Dust Designs does so well. Up until now, there have been a lot of Christmas mugs and a couple of gnome mugs, but just recently, a whole line of Halloween mugs was just released, and I am super excited because you have all of the components to make a really fun mug, but then there are a lot of accessories that you can include in each of the sets. There's something different. Namely, there's a companion cupcake that is really adorable. So you have your mug of any drink of your choice and a cupcake that you can that matches in theme. But then besides that, there are a lot of other Halloween icons too. I'm starting with this background that I'm inking up with a few different shades of purple. Two of my inks here are Distress Oxides. I find that Distress Oxides for me blend a little bit more smoothly than Distress inks. Part of that is because Distress Oxides are a hybrid ink, so they have a little bit of pigment ink in them as compared to the Distress ink, which is a dye-based ink. Dye-based inks will soak into your papers, so when I use them in a blend like this, in a background that I'm trying to blend out, I actually like to lay down a layer of an oxide ink so that there's a layer of ink covering the cardstock, and that way when I lay Distress ink on top, it's not going to immediately soak into the papers, and there's a better shot at moving it around and blending it into everything else. Now, because most of this panel is Distress Oxide, oxide inks do react to water, and the water will activate the ink and kind of be give you that bleached look to it, because it's actually going to lift the ink where you can just soak it up with your paper towel, as I did a moment ago. I did also take some black soot and do a little bit of vignetting all the way around the edges, just to darken the edges a little bit, and that helps to concentrate the bright area towards the center where I'm going to have my focal images. I should mention that my video today is part of a collaboration with my fellow crafty friends. To find all the videos in this hop, just click on the hashtag Crafty Fun Spooky Fun, and if that doesn't bring up all of the videos, which you should be able to recognize because we're all using a standard thumbnail for our video, you can always expand the description box below, and I'll leave direct links to each video on the hop. So that's another way that you can find all of the videos on this hop. This is just for fun. I know there isn't a giveaway or anything with this one, but we like to get together sometimes and organize these hops as a way to give you a lot of inspiration. So if you're looking for Halloween inspiration, all of us will be sharing Halloween projects on this hop. And as well, it's a fun way for us to introduce our fans and viewers to, some of our crafty friends, and that way you can maybe find some other creators here on YouTube that you might not have heard of otherwise. So if you are a regular viewer of mine, I hope you'll consider hopping along and checking out the channels of my crafty friends. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for hopping by, and I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, I hope you'll give it a like. Let me know how you like to celebrate Halloween, and if you like my content, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that notification bell. That way, whenever I post new content, you'll get an alert. With all of the Pixie Dust Designs dies, they are always so well designed because the base of the characters that get assembled will have debossed lines on them. And in fact, any layer that is meant to have another die cut layered on top of it will have those debossed lines. So there are going to be some areas like the hair on Bride of Frankenstein that is actually 3 layers of cardstock. There are some places where it's just 2. But anywhere that you see debossed lines, it's a hint that there's another die cut that is meant to be layered on top. And certainly kind of your choice if you want to do that, if you want to just leave it, because the debossing, it's a nice detail that is more subtle if that's something that you're looking for. So there's always that option. A lot of times when I'm looking at a die set, it's not always immediately obvious what each shape is. So I love having those deboss lines because then I have something to match it to, and I can look for a shape among the dies that will fit that space. But I do appreciate that on the back of the packaging, there is a sample of the finished assembled piece. So that already gives you an idea for how it's supposed to look when it's all put together. And that too is another fabulous clue as to what goes where. Now, my card today is actually a 4x6 card. I have a ton of these card bases I'm trying to use up, and I thought that what I would do is actually add a bit of shimmer to this background before I start gluing down my Frankenstein and his bride. This is from Imagine Crafts, and it's their sheer shimmer craft spray in Sparkle. If you are familiar with something like the Wink of Stella, this is remarkably similar. It's got a lot of that same kind of like a platinum gold glitter that's very, very fine. It has a really lovely, it must have some mica in there because it's got some lovely shimmer and shine to it. And it's just beautiful. It's subtle. I doubt you can see it on camera, but in real life, you can definitely see it, especially when you tilt this in different lights. What I love about something as subtle as that is it just gives you more things to explore and appreciate about the card as you look at it longer or more closely. So I love adding details like that. Now that I've got the, you could see I was auditioning out a lot of different placement options for my main components here. And I want to keep it pretty simple. I'm just going to have the Frankie mug, his bride muffin or cupcake. But if you wanted, there are some really fun other details in this set, including bats, candy corn bats, which I think is a really cute idea. And so all of the mug die sets that released last month, in fact, have a lot of different little Halloween icons. And so if you actually have multiple of them, it's really great because all of those little details and all of the little additional accessories, you could definitely mix and match them and they would be really, really adorable. The last thing I'll do on camera, but I did add some other finishing details off camera. These are drops that I made, pre-made, and they aren't Nuvo drops. I actually made these with wax. So after finishing a session of wax seals, what I'll do is just to use up whatever is left in the spoon, I'll just heat that up, melt it, and then make as many drops as I can from it. That way I can clean the spoon, but I don't have to waste the wax that's in there because it can become a bit of an endless cycle of, adding more wax and trying to use it all on an actual seal. I always like to melt more wax than I think I'll need to do a full seal, so there's always a little bit left over. And I decided to add some black wax dots, as well as some in a very light lavender. And the last bit of detail that I added was some white gel pen highlights. And for Frankenstein's eyes, I actually added his eyes in a black glaze pen that I just kind of drew in, and then I dotted it with a white gel pen to add that sort of a little bit of that highlight there. The little white dots on in the eyes, which I did also add for Bride of Frankenstein, I feel like they really help to make the characters come to life a little bit. So I like adding that, just that little bit of detail. And that will wrap up my card for today. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you'll continue to hop along and check out the rest of the videos on this hashtag Crafty Fun Spooky Fun Collaboration Hop. And thanks again for joining me. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.